Okay, so now is day 10 of going through my journals. Um, the quote for today is, "At the end of the day, we can endure much more than we think we can." And then the question is, what struggle has given you incredible strength and how did it strengthen you? Are you facing a struggle right now that is testing your limits? So if you're following along, go ahead and pause the video and take a few minutes to answer this question, and I'll be back here in a second with my response. Okay, so, oh, got my cat. Ugh. So my response to this, I haven't read it yet, so let's see what I said. Okay, what struggle has given you incredible strength and how did it strengthen you? What are you facing right now that's testing your limits? And I said, I haven't really struggled much throughout my life, I don't think. I would say my biggest struggles have involved relationships, and I don't think I've really gained much strength from them. Unless by strength you mean nihilism. I'm getting to the point that I have fewer and fewer emotions. Honestly, right now, I think I'm probably dealing with my biggest struggle, trying to finish school while working a job I don't really care about, not really knowing what I'll do afterwards or for the rest of my life. Oh, I don't know if I want to go into this. This is like relationship stuff. But basically, being in a relationship with someone who says they love me but constantly hurts me by talking to other people. I said, I understand the songs and quotes where people talk about closing themselves off or putting up walls. I feel like I'm building a massive wall between myself and everyone, but I think it's for the best. I'd rather have a wall up than wind up being hurt. If there's someone patient enough to tear down the wall, hopefully they'll be good enough to not force me to put it up again. So yeah, I guess, like I said, a lot of these entries are kind of based on stuff that's going on in my life in the background. And so clearly there was some relationship stuff going on in the background of this one. And, you know, I do feel like not just like romantic relationships, but relationships with people in general have been kind of a struggle for me throughout most of my life. It's weird because I don't feel like I've been lonely, like, but there were a few times this didn't normally like come up for me and bother me, but like there were a few times that it did bother me. Like, for instance, in high school, I had friends, but I didn't really have close friends. Like, I didn't get close with people like how other people did. So, like, if someone were to ask me in high school, like, who's your best friend? There was a girl that I would say was my best friend, but it was weird because I knew that like our friendship wasn't like most best friends. It was like there was just this one girl that we had a lot of classes together and we hung out together. We ate lunch together at school. So at school we were mostly around each other, but we didn't really hang out outside of school. We really ran in different social circles. Like, she was an athlete, so she played basketball and I was in band. And so she had, you know, her basketball friends and everything, which was who she would hang out with. And that's some other people that we had lunch with. There was some other, you know, girls on the basketball team that we hung out with. But me and her were both in AP classes. And so, like, a lot of her basketball friends, like, we ended up being in all the same classes, but a lot of her basketball friends weren't in the AP classes. And then the same for me, like a lot of my band friends weren't in the AP classes, so like after school. But then even with my band friends, and even though I hung out with like people a lot outside of band, it was mostly guys. And now that I'm older, I realize that, like, I thought it was just like friends, we were hanging out, but I didn't feel like besties. But now I'm realizing, like, not that this is always the case, but whereas I thought it was just a lot of us being friends, hanging out, most of the guys that were nice to me or nice to girls, it's not just that they're being nice because they like you and they want to be friends with you. There's kind of ulterior motive. So I think that's why with all the guy friends that I have, I never really felt like that close friendship and relationship with them, because I think there was always that like tension of like, well, if I'm too nice to them, I'm going to lead them on. And I did lead on some guys, kind of knowing that they had a crush on me. And I still feel bad about that. But I don't know. I just, beyond that, like, I didn't really build strong relationships with people, and I still don't build strong relationships with people. It's kind of like I have a social circle that I hang out with depending on where I'm at. So, like, I had some people in my classes in undergrad that I would hang out with, but I don't talk to any of them now. Like, but I don't think they dislike me, and I don't dislike them. It's just we never formed like a close friendship, like it's just kind of like we're friends and we talk to people and talk to each other in class and stuff. We may go out and get lunch together, may go study together, whatever, hang out a little bit, but it's never been like building a closeness. And yeah, same thing at Disney. I have my Disney friends, hang out with a bunch of them all the time. After Disney, don't really talk. Master's degree, I have my master's, like little circle of master's degree friends, and you keep loosely associated with them through like Facebook and stuff, but I don't really like regularly talk to anybody. So, I mean, it's not just like here, I was clearly focused on like a romantic relationship, but I don't tend to build like, I felt like I was putting up a wall in this relationship, but I don't think it's specific to just that relationship. I think I put up walls to like all relationships, and I don't know if it's like really to not get hurt, but I don't think I get that close with people for the most part. And it's usually like if I am close with someone, I'm close with like only one person at a time. It's like I only let one person like see my whole self at a time. Like I only have the energy for one person. So yeah, clearly right now it's my roommate. But yeah, I don't know. So that's what struggle I was dealing with back then, and then I've got that constant struggle of getting through school. That's gonna be just like a theme throughout this whole journal. So that's what I have for me, and I will be back tomorrow with day 11.